Hi all, just wanted to give a little update on the Raaw Madonna. This is the v2.2. Done the unboxing video on this one, but just wanted to give a kind of update. I've had it for just over a year now on what I'm liking, what I'm not liking, which is a tiny list, and yeah, what it's like to live with. So had this thing a year now, or just over a year, and put a ton of kilometers on it, mostly riding enduro style trails, steeper trails, jumps, drops, shuttling. Has been on a few like bigger pedally days as well, and yeah, I do have a few bikes in the stable, so this one mostly gets to see the more gravity focused riding. So yeah, durability, I'll start there. Durability has been phenomenal actually. I haven't babied this thing, but it's put on like the little bit of kit it came with for protecting kind of high wear areas, and yeah, the finish is just still beautiful. It's been a few spots where, you know, I've gone through that with kind of rock strikes and whatnot just on the taped areas here, but everywhere else, you know, it's just holding up so well. There's tiny bits of, you know, heel rub here, but everything's top notch. There's like, yeah, maybe a tiny bit of peeling here from the chainstay guard, but bearings, I've not replaced those yet. Granted, most of my riding is fairly dry, but I do go on some, you know, get out whenever I can with a family, and so I don't get to pick and choose the best days. And yeah, so it has seen some sloppy, gritty, grimy weather, you know, loamy trails too, and only had to do kind of a few strip downs of the rear end, the rear suspension here, and kind of just a real good clean and grease, and that's got rid of any kind of creaking or anything I've heard there, which again doesn't happen too often, but it is the reality of owning a full suspension bike. External cable routing's been great as well. Hardly had to do much, you know, retightening or torquing. This thing's really high quality, nice, neat way to kind of thread the cables through, apart from I think the rear brake on the v2.2 here. But that's all held up well. I just fitted brand new SRAM Maven brakes, the ultimate version here, and they were a breeze to install just due to the external routing. New rotors, yeah, new calipers, and easy peasy to thread it, take out the old codes and put in the new Maven. And have I found the bike over the year? Like, riding it is still like a breath of fresh air. This is the extra large. We're in a 210 dropper, 1-up V2 dropper, and have the saddle tilted pretty far down because I like to do a lot of kind of winch and plummet style riding, and yeah, find the pedaling position really good. Effective and actual seat angle, I'm definitely a sucker for trying to find the steepest here. Unfortunately, due to the kink in the frame, the higher you go, you do lose a little bit of that actual seat angle once your saddle's way up high and you're climbing, but it's still relatively steep, like compared to a transition Spire. I know the new Marin Alpine trail and the new Geometron 2025, those are more straighter tube, especially the Geometron is full straight. Same with the Forbidden Dreadnought V2, and yeah, keen to get on those and try that pedaling position too, because extra large bikes now definitely getting better in terms of geometry, chainstay length. I keep this in the full length 450mm setting. I like the long stability of the bike, and yeah, having 450 on the rear is just feels so planted. I don't have trouble with lifting the front end. Yeah, can take it down to 440 in the back here as well, just with the through axle. You do have to buy a new part for that, but yeah, there's definitely some adjustability here. I know the V3 you can put the 27.5 wheel on too, and there's slight tweaks and changes, but it's essentially the same bike. Also fitted the Fox 38 on here, set it at 170. I had the option, I was toying with the idea of putting 180, but I did go 170 to preserve some of the geometry and that steeper seat angle. And yeah, the bike already has a nice high front end. The 38's been perfect match for the bike. I did have a 36, and putting a 38 on, and those Strava times just kept on coming, so I was matching and beating a lot of my older times just with the confidence from the new 38. It's also definitely saved me a few times too. Yeah, it's a stout fork, and yeah, definitely the right fit for the job here for this bike. Yeah, I got the stealth graphics on and just kind of not the best taping, but some like homemade taping over it just to stop it from getting too scratched up. Continental tires, another new one. I got the Crip Totals on here. This is the DH casing and the super soft on the front here. So it does roll slow for sure. Like, I jump on a trail bike, my hardtail, and it's phenomenal. Feels like the brakes on sometimes relative to that one, but the grip is just so good, and this rubber is just so soft, tacky, and yeah, slippery stuff, rooty stuff after rain or whatever, and the confidence is there with this thing. Yeah, casing wise, the DH is similar, or between a max grip, weight wise is between a double down and a DH tire from Maxxis, so you're not paying too much more of a weight penalty going for the Continental DH casings versus the Maxxis DH casings. And if you're on the super soft right now for Continental, you have to go for the DH casings. In the rear, it's the same. You can see the kind of images they use here, so it's the downhill casing again, but this one is a soft, not a super soft, so it's going to be a little bit harder wearing, still extremely supple and damped feel on the trail. So yeah, really great. Drivetrain has been holding up really well. I have swapped out the chain I think once, but using the XX1 chains with the GX drivetrain and X01 shifter, it's a sweet combination. Don't pay ridiculous sum of money, and the shifting is so crisp with that XX1 kind of nicely machined chain. Yeah, also gone to aluminum pedals. One Up, shout out to them. They hooked me up with a code for some aluminum pedals. I broke 2 sets of composites at the same place on the same trail, 2 separate occasions, so they were kind enough to help me out, and the blue really pops on the bike. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about the bike, living with it, geometry, anything else, please let me know in the comments. All right, see you next time. Ciao.